Hello, everyone, and welcome to Writers offer tips and advice to other writers. I'm Simon Rose, the author of 21 novels and more than 100 non-fiction books for children and young adults.
And I'm Simon's co-host, Suzanne Lieurance. I'm a law of attraction coach for writers and the author of 40 plus books, that kind of thing. And today we're going to be talking about writing about the environment and green issues.
And it isn't just us. We have a tremendous, wonderful guest joining us this time to share some of their experiences. Welcome to the show, Nina Munteanu.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. We're excited to have you. Now, before we start, just tell us a little bit about your writing, the kind of things you do. I'm assuming, from people will know it's about green issues in the environment, right?
Yeah, Suzanne, I think everything I seem to do is writing is involved somehow.
Mhm.
I teach writing at U of T. I still do that. Teaching nurses and engineers how to write. You can imagine what that's like. It's quite fun. Um,
Ah,
I also write articles. I do nonfiction and fiction writing. I write articles for various magazines, short stories, and that sort of thing. I coach. I also coach on the side. I coach writers to publication, and then my own fiction. I write novels and that sort of thing. That all that kind of keeps me busy writing. I do a
Sounds
lot
like
of writing.
it.
Now, you published over a dozen fiction and non-fiction books, mostly on the environment. Now, uh, is there any particular reason why you're drawn to writing about what we would call, I suppose, green issues?
Yeah, Simon, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been, I guess, an environmentalist. I'm not sure how that came about. I had my pet peeve when I was 5 years old was people littering. And I just hated that kind of what I felt was lack of respect for the not just the environment, but for other people. And somehow that lingered and that became a calling, essentially. So kind of put that together with my passion for writing, and boom, there I am. There I'm doing it.
Wow, that's funny because littering is something that just drove me crazy when my kids were growing up and they thought, Mom, you get so irritated if you see somebody throw a wrapper on the ground or something. And I said, they just shouldn't do that. They don't have any respect for other people and for the environment, for the
I
world,
know, I know, isn't it
Yeah, it
unnerving?
just really gets you riled up. You mentioned the articles and things you write, though. Now, you write a column on reality skimming press. Tell us
Yes.
about that a little bit, and also about the blogs. Is that on your site, this reality skimming press, or what is that?
No, this is Reality Skimming Press is a press by
Okay,
Linda Williams
right.
out of Prince George, also a prolific writer of science fiction.
Hmm.
And she's put out a press, and with that, she has a column on sustainability, and she invited me to host that column. So that's where that comes from. I invite guests to, and I basically do interviews with other authors on sustainability, the issues around that,
Hmm.
and the environment and respecting the environment. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then your site is called The Meaning of Water.
Yeah, that's one of my sites. I have several blogs and sites where I do articles. One is on writing. It's ninamunteanu.me. That's my coaching site. And people find me as a coach, and I help them out, like I said before. The meaning of water is dedicated to the environment and particularly water, as in the title.
Hmm.
And that's partly because, well, I'm a limnologist. That's my profession, or it has been my profession for many years, for over 20 years. Limnology is the study of fresh water, as opposed to oceanography, which is the study of salt water. And I did that as a consultant, as an environmental consultant, and then I worked that into my my key interest as one of the main interests that I have in ecology and in the environment. So My writing reflects that, both my nonfiction writing and fiction writing.
Do you have a preference over one or the other, or shorter or long pieces?
Wow, I used to. I think I started off wanting to write the quintessential novel,
Hmm.
and I I realized that I needed to get a reputation first and establish my credibility. So I started short stories. And everybody was telling me, "Hey, this should be a novel. You're really writing a novel. Go write the novel." But I finally perfected the short story, and when I did, I realized that short is extremely powerful. It's an extremely powerful form. It's a statement, a straight line, an arrow. And yet at the same time, the reason that I love novels, reading them as well as writing them, is because they are the bigger picture and they're able to go in far more depth and the convoluted complexity of issues, which of course I was writing about, and we're always writing about something, that I could delve into that more deeply and become, a novel can be very deep, can have layers, and has a lot of more characters and that sort of thing. So there's a lot more to do with it. So I like both, and I keep writing both. And I guess my mind, just like we do, just like the seasons,
Hmm.
my mind changes. So I'll go flip flop, okay, now I'm going to write a short story, then now I'm going to write a novel.
Wow.
Well, you've been doing this for quite a while now, of course. But way back when, what got you started with all this in the first place? What made you decide that you wanted to? Because I presume there was a time when you weren't writing, of course, and then
Yeah.
you decided that you would try writing either as a hobby or something like that before you got anywhere near being published. What got you started in the first place?
I guess I was always a storyteller, Simon. I'm the youngest of, family of five, three kids, and my older brother and sister used to drag me around. Well, they didn't drag me. I followed them around more like all kinds of places and things. But at my end, I was a storyteller and I liked telling stories. And I ended up directing all these plays that I forced my brother and sister to be in, and I would direct them. That was my little power thing, I guess, as the youngest. And I loved writing these little stories about all kinds of things
Hmm.
and directing. Really, I guess I wanted to be honest, Simon, I think I wanted to be a director of movies. And I
Ah.
never did that, but I did get to write some really cool stuff.
God, that sounds so familiar. I did the same thing.
Did you?
Little plays, directing everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in
Yeah.
sixth grade, and doing all these kind of stuff. So that sounds so familiar. But
It's
tell it,
isn't it it's great practice, isn't it? I
yeah,
mean, as you're
yeah,
growing up.
it's great fun. I mean, I don't understand if kids aren't using their imagination today,
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
don't have, I mean, they're missing out on a lot of fun. I think,
I
like
agree.
we
I
used to
agree.
have.
Storytelling is so powerful,
Oh,
coming up with the
yeah.
narrative. And then also, it's powerful also in that and you end up seeing yourself. It's
Mhm.
empowering. You see the results, you see the effect that it has. And of
Oh,
course, we
yeah.
carry that as writers, as storytellers into our adult life.
Well, there's nothing more empowering than writing a play or something for the neighborhood kids and they're acting it out and everybody laughs in the right places and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's training. That's training, isn't it? In a
Yeah,
way. You don't think of
yeah,
it that
that's
way, but
great. So tell
yeah.
us a little bit about, you're kind of telling us about some of your influences, but what influences you to write today?
Well, I write mostly eco-fiction, as I said, and I kind of neglected to mention my latest book, which maybe we'll talk about a little bit, Gaia's Revolution. Totally eco-fiction. It's actually a climate thriller. And those two, eco-fiction, generally the ecology and the environment, and climate thriller,
Mhm.
pretty much encapsulates what interests me. I mean, Suzanne, I was a limnologist, I still am, I guess,
Mhm.
very much about the environment. And one of the main things that I realized, even when I was younger, when I first started this series, this is book one of three, a trilogy.
Mm.
And when I first started, this is actually the new cover for the second book, which was at one point the first book.
Oh,
I wrote that when I was 16 or something.
oh gosh.
And I'm not going to tell you the year because you guys can figure that out if you want, whatever. But I was thinking climate change back then. I
Gosh.
say back then because I was a kid
Yeah.
and I already knew about climate change and I was just a kid, right? I'm not like a genius or whatever. But
Hmm.
so already then I was being influenced by things that were important to me. And as we both agreed, when we were little kids, you had the same experience. I hated littering. And it was at the reason that I hated littering so much was at the basis of it is a lack of respect for
Hmm.
others,
Hmm.
any others,
Right.
including particularly others who don't speak, who don't have a voice, like the environment.
Hmm.
And that has sat with me all the way through. So to come back to the present day, what influences me is our world, climate change, our existential threats, the ruination, the destruction of the environment, what we're doing to the environment, we're doing to ourselves.
Hmm.
And I just don't
Mm.
get why people don't get that simple logic. We are in an existential crisis. And I don't think I can write anything but something that at least has that in the background. If you don't, if it isn't the main thing. In some cases, it could be the main character, but um, it infuses everything that I write.
So that's where the idea came from then for this latest trilogy.
Yes. Now, um, like I mentioned, this is the first book of a trilogy, and but it's the last book I wrote of the trilogy. In other words, the first book was this one, which is the third book. I'm showing the old cover. The
The
publisher's
first book is the third
putting
book.
out new cover.
Okay.
The first book I wrote or published was the third book, and I published them backwards. Dragon Moon published them backwards, but I mean they do the
Oh,
following
okay.
or whatever. And there's a story around that. I mean, as we're all writers here, and we know how things happen, right? You get something published or something else doesn't get published, and then this gets published first, and blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, and I've talked to other writers about this. Next thing you know, you're writing a prequel to a prequel, which is which is which is what Gaia's Revolution is. It's a prequel to the prequel
Oh,
because the prequel
wow.
was written after the third book was written, which was at one point the sequel. Are you still with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Gosh.
so. I've done much the same thing. I've done much the same thing. So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing though. There was a mistake, a big mistake that everybody missed in this
Oh,
book. A mistake about one of the characters. Now, you all know this too, and you've experienced various versions of this. When
mm,
you're writing, and you've got a character, let's say the character's called John, and at some point you decide, I don't want to use John, it's just too
yeah.
normal. I'm going to use Bindle. Bindle. So every John you do this global and you go, every John turns into Bindle.
Except
But
it doesn't.
except exactly, Suzanne, except it doesn't. So that's what happened here. So there the one of the characters was originally Eric, and then I changed it to Damien.
Mm.
But then oddly enough, in a very key scene, the name Eric came through. It
Oh,
was a key scene. So everybody missed it, me included. You do the proofs with the publisher and everything. The publisher has the copywriter and this and that. And everybody missed it.
but what did readers
So
say?
it got the readers know one reader noticed who's a real plotter, who
Wow.
that's really wild. And I'm going, oh, excuse the language. Anyway, so I thought, okay. So they could have changed it. And then I thought, why don't I go with it? So I literally, in book one, created a new character called Eric, who
Oh,
turned out to be the twin brother
oh God.
of Damien. And then I worked out that whole, it was in a letter that the mistake was made. And
Uh-huh.
that letter was a key letter for another character,
Oh,
right?
cool.
Influencing him. So I played with that. And out of that emerged this amazing dynamic between these two twin brothers who were, playing with each other or fighting with each other.
And you didn't even
And
have twins.
in all honesty, no, in all honesty, Suzanne, I think it was like a moment of genius. You know how we get those out
Yeah,
of out
yeah.
of necessity?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's 20 times better than it ever could have been if I had of, you know,
Boy.
made that mistake in the first place and then gone with it. It's crazy. I just love it. I love telling that story.
Oh, yeah. Well, out of all these characters you've created, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, the bad guy. Well, in this one again, this is almost like an origin story, right? The prequel to the prequel, an origin story to the third book, which is about a whole different group of characters. Like, it's
Okay.
almost like a saga. So the one of the whoops, sorry, you didn't hear that. One of these original characters, um, it's a complex beginning, and they develop into something else.
Mm.
Things don't work well for them, and they become something else, as you can imagine.
Cool.
Um, I guess you could say the villain. They become the villain.
Mhm.
And so I have a chance to explain sort of why and how that developed. So that character from the beginning is morally gray, is complex, has
Mhm.
both good things and bad things about them, or I should say good and bad, but um, and therefore is also likable but dislikable at the same time,
Mm.
is a savior and a tyrant. Those kind
Oh,
of opposites play into that character. And I honestly think, the reality is there's a little bit of that in all of us.
oh, sure.
And given the circumstance, in this case, a revolution, like a war, and incredible heartache and tragedy, and this one character is very much affected, and it shifts the balance of them. And this can happen to anybody. If
Mhm.
you're pushed hard enough, what will you do? What are you driven to? So that's why that character is a favorite to write,
Mhm.
because they are so complex and there's so much going on. And in a way, it was outside my regular life, like,
Mhm.
if you know what I mean, in terms of experiences. So that challenged me as well as a writer.
Yeah.
It's not unlike
Yeah.
actors who prefer to play these complex bad
Sure.
guys,
Yeah.
because they have to really work at it, and as opposed to a good guy, right? It's just almost too simple.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also why I always bring up the example for me as an audience member of the Thor, what is it, Captain America group of
Oh,
things.
yeah.
And then there's Thor and his half brother, whatever, what's
Yeah.
his name?
Oh, Loki.
Loki. Now, who's more interesting? Tell me the truth.
The villain's more interesting. Yes.
Loki's he steals every scene when the two of them are together, doesn't he? Why is that?
Mm.
Because he's so much more complex and un not unreliable, what's the word? Unpredictable.
Right.
And
Yeah. You don't know
that
what he's
draws
going to
us
do.
in, right? You
Mm.
don't know because they are morally complex. Therefore, you don't know if they're going to be, it's like Baba Yaga, the the witch that is both good and, does good
Mhm.
things and terrible things. You don't know which way she's going to go. And that's how this character is. in this book.
Yeah. Now,
So,
moving away from your books just briefly here. I mean, you obviously you provide services for other writers as well, like editing and coaching and all this sort of thing. Now, I'm assuming that well, I should know this, of course. This isn't just in green issues. This is in any genre, right? You provide services to any writer, really. Can
yeah,
you tell us a bit about these kind of things?
yeah, thank you, Simon. I do. Um, yeah, I've coached all kinds of writers in terms of all different genres of writing, fantasy. Funnily enough, I get a lot of fantasy writers. I'm not sure why. A lot of people are writing fantasies, or a lot of people who require my services are writing fantasies, but also memoir. So
Mm.
nonfiction.
Mm.
A lot of people are writing their memoirs, and they, to be honest, most of them really need help because to write a good memoir takes a lot more than people think. It's
Mhm.
not like a simple autobiography where you
Right.
put everything, including the kitchen sink, in there. You have to write a story. Well, writing a memoir is still like writing good fiction.
Yes, it is. I've had that experience too with about four or five different people over the last few years.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure,
Yeah.
Simon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So what are you working on now?
Oh, I'm working on
How many? 10, 15 projects probably?
right. No, no. I actually decided to work on absolutely nothing after this guy came out. And
Oh.
then Anna made me an offer on my next book, which
Mm.
is, oh, where did it guy go? I lost it. I lost my book. Oh, here it is. Um,
Oh, don't lose your
which,
book. Don't
oh
lose your
yeah,
book.
don't lose me. It actually is a sequel to this book, A Diary in the Age of
All
Water,
right. Yes.
published by Inanna Publications, and they just let me know that they're going to publish the next book, which is a sort of a sequel to this one. It's called Talvig.
Mm.
And so we've entered into, they sent the contract and everything, and I got all excited by that.
Yeah.
So what am I busy on now? I'm busy on edits with them. We're doing our first round of edits. I'm working with an incredible editor. I'm so happy. And this is the other thing that we writers do all the time. Besides actually writing, we're also working with editors, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm,
and
definitely.
the big lesson there is if you've got a good editor,
Mm.
you're right. What comes out at the other end is going to be even better than
Oh, sure.
ever that you could ever think it would be.
Hmm.
And that's what I've got right now. I'm working with this stunning editor, this
Oh,
gorgeous
that's
lady
exciting.
who is improving my work as I go along, and that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and presumably you're doing plenty of marketing as well. I know as we're connected on social media and goodness knows what else, I see stuff from you all the time and blog posts and everything like that. I'm sure that you're marketing at events and maybe going to conferences and all sorts of things. Are you doing
For,
a
oh
lot of things
yeah,
like that?
for sure, Simon. And I see you and Suzanne out there doing the same thing. I think all good authors, I say that all good authors do that. And
Well,
some way, even Margaret Atwood, she's out on Twitter, right? I mean, good grief. We need to, no matter who our publisher is. Some publishers are much more market savvy, have a larger whatever budget for marketing.
Mhm.
Others don't have so much, but they might be still very market savvy. For instance, Dragon Moon, who's published Gaia's Revolution, um, is very savvy in terms of materials and getting stuff out,
Mhm.
uh, putting images out, and making those kind of promotional material. Um, and Anna's maybe a little better getting it out to libraries and getting the book out physically to reviewers and that sort of thing. Everybody has their thing. And what writers need to do is understand that the publisher can't do everything, won't do everything. And
Right.
we've got to do literally everything else. So the beauty of the internet, of course, is that we can avail ourselves of so much.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes, to answer that question, I'm doing an awful lot. And to be honest, I enjoy it. I really enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun because I get in touch. It gives me almost an excuse to be in touch with readers, future
Mhm.
readers, as well as current readers, fans, if you will, of my work. And so we have Twitter, we have Blue Sky. I'm just saying things that I'm using, LinkedIn, Facebook, my own sites, which get a bazillion people coming. I get thousands of people coming a week
That's
to
great.
my
That's
various
great.
sites, which, yeah, which is great. And that's partly because I put out a lot of, it's not just promotional material. I
Right.
mix my promotion with good quality stuff that's of interest, which
Yeah.
comes from my soul, really. And I think that's the key is engaging with people, with potential readers, but just people of similar interests. And of course, I've branded myself as you
Mhm.
have done.
Mhm.
Branding is another important thing. So recognizing that you actually are a brand, there's nothing wrong with that. It's,
Right.
I just think it's just smart,
Mhm.
savvy. So I'm actually currently known as a Canadian eco-fiction author. My books, my latest book, one of my latest book, the diary has been studied for a PhD thesis in various universities.
Very
It's in
nice.
courses. And that recognition comes about through getting the book out and engaging in the communities
Right.
that are associated with the the things that you write, your genre, your whatever, right? You touch upon. So for me, it's
Yeah.
limnology, it's water, it's the environment, it's eco-fiction, climate fiction, um, that sort of thing.
And it's interesting too because marketing is really important for writers. But I'm doing something this month at writebythesea.com. We have themes every month, and this month our theme is visibility as a writer, how to increase
Yeah,
your visibility. Because I find so many writers, maybe pre-published, I call them instead of unpublished, but pre-published writers are hesitant to get out there and start building a not just a platform, but building their visibility. And so I'm really encouraging that this month at Right by the Sea. And so, like you, on my blog, I create content that's helpful for other
yeah,
people, but it also helps get my name out there because then people know, oh, go to Right by the Sea. She talks about law of
yes,
attraction for writers and that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. And we'll be talking about marketing a lot more
yeah.
in some of these podcasts too.
Oh, excellent. I'll be coming over.
Good,
Get
good.
some tips. I can always learn, always learn. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been doing this for
Well,
20
we ought
years.
to, all of us just
Well,
keep promoting each other. I tell
Oh,
people in my
definitely.
group, just go
The
read my blog
network.
post, go leave it, share it, leave a comment, tell me yours is
Yeah,
up, and I'll do the same thing.
for sure,
Doesn't have to be
Suzanne.
anything that costs any money, and it doesn't have to be
Oh,
anything
yeah.
hours to do.
We're a
so,
family. We're a tribe, as they say,
That's
right?
so
true. Yeah.
thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here today, Nina. And
Oh, thank
but
you.
where can people find you and your
Everywhere.
books on the online in the magic world of the
Actually,
internet?
no,
Where's
honestly,
your hub?
Simon, you
Where's
can
your
find
hub?
me anywhere because my name is unique. I am
True.
blessed with that. So if you look me up on the internet, you're going to find me, not just a bazillion other Nina Munteanos. There are a few out there, but
Really?
mostly it's me. So that's one thing. That's one of the very best ways to find me is just Google me. But I have several websites. I'm on various social media, and I think I'm very easy to find. Um,
Yeah, and you can find me at simon-rose.com. And Suzanne, where can we find you?
Well, I'm in a lot of places too, mainly writebythesea.com, but I want to just do a little plug. I've been starting to write songs lately. I've written
Oh yeah.
39 songs and they're up at my YouTube channel. So you can find me at YouTube if you just go youtube.com/ uh, at Suzanne Lieurance. And it's so much fun writing songs. So I'm
oh,
encouraging
that's wonderful.
people
I'm
to
going to
go have
check it
fun.
out.
Yeah, check it out. It's all country songs and bluegrass because, as you know, when you're a writer, you want to focus on one genre and get known for that before you branch out into a million different others. So I'm hopefully getting a little bit of traction, becoming known for lyrics and music for country and bluegrass. So
Well, that's super,
yeah, it's
super.
good.
Well, we'll certainly we'll certainly include all the links when the podcast's up on the site and everything. We'll include all the links for all the different sites and everything. So
Thank you,
once again,
Simon.
thank you for being here, Nina. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
It's been
thank you so
just
much.
so fun. Thank you, Suzanne and
Thank
Simon.
you. And
Take
goodbye,
care.
everybody. Let us know if
Bye-bye.
you have any ideas, everyone listening, for where you get your inspiration, what you do for marketing, any kind of thing. Just leave comments. And you'll also we'll put everybody's information in our show notes for this episode. Okay. So happy writing till we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.
And of course,
Bye-bye.
if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review and all that sort of good stuff, and share it with other people and everything who might benefit from this conversation. So, yeah,
Yeah.
until next time.
All righty.